put something so hard that you can't even fathom of even going past or going through. And he'll do it because he wants you to be guided by him, and he wants you to take upon you his name. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. There's a story in the Old Testament in 2 Kings, and it's called the Debtor's Widow. I'm going to share that with you real fast. It says, the debtor's widow, and her attributes is trusting. Once upon a time, there lived a widow and her 2 sons. Her husband was a righteous man who served the prophet Elisha. One day, a creditor came to the widow's home to collect money she owed him. But this widow was poor and could not pay him. All she had in her home was 1 pot of oil. Needing some form of payment, the creditor said he would take her sons as slaves in place of the money. Desperate, the widow found Elisha and cried for his help. After listening to the widow's plea, Elisha told her to borrow empty pots from all of her neighbors. She was then counseled to pour the oil from her own pot into all the borrowed pots. The widow trusted the prophet and did as she was told. As she filled each borrowed pot to the brim, her oil miraculously multiplied, and her own pot never ran out. The widow again found Elisha and told him of the miracle. Elisha instructed her to sell some of the oil to pay off the rest of her debts. The once desperate widow and her sons lived off their maiden oil, and her sons were saved from bondage. And just ask yourself for a second, how can you put your trust in God? I know that one way that I can put my trust in God is honestly just doing the simple primary answers. I feel like whenever we are praying and reading our scriptures and going to church and just doing all the little things that we can do is when God really is going to bless our efforts. We can also trust in him by serving others and loving them the way that Christ did. I remember a life or death situation in my life when I had to fully put my trust in God. And I was about 6 or 7 years old, and we were in Bear Lake. And I didn't know what I was doing, and I just got in this raft with my little friend, probably the same age as me. And we didn't have life jackets on, and we got caught in a current and just kind of drifted away. And it wasn't until we were like far away from the little beach area that we had set up that we realized that we should probably start heading back. And then we realized that oh, we don't know where we're going, and it's kind of really far, and so we didn't know what beach sites were, which ones were us. And so I just remember I kept having this big prompting to just put the oar down in the ground and see if I could reach. And even though it was in the unknown, I tried to do that because I got that prompting. And as I did that, I put the oar down and I told the girl, I said, we're too far out, I can't reach. And oh, dang it, I looked at my mom. Anyway, so then my older sister Alyssa, being probably only 11 years old, saw us, and she actually got to take care of my sister and my brother so that they were back in the shallow area so they didn't get drifted out. And she swam. Sorry. She swam probably 2.5 miles just to come rescue us. And the other hard thing is there was boats. There was boats all around us, and so it was really scary because we didn't have a flag or anything to tell them that we were there. And just as God is our lifeboat, he's going to always be there for us. He's mindful of us, and when we put our trust in him, he will bless us, and he will lead us, and we can find strength and peace and solace in him.
The Lord hears and answers our prayers according to our faith. He always has an arm stretched out towards us and is waiting on us to accept it. To end, I just wanted to say that God loves us uniquely and eternally. Because our Savior's sacrifice, He made it possible to obtain the pure love and joy of this gospel and this salvation. God will always be there for us when and if we need Him. So kneel down.